I would like for you all to take a second and look around the room. According to New York Times, a study finds that 1 in 5 people worldwide are at risk of severe COVID. Now, despite all of our differences, our different backgrounds, health, we all have known somebody or have a friend or family member that has been affected by this serious, deadly virus. Me personally, my sister has had the virus, and I have had 2 family members pass from the virus as well. Now, with that being said, it is very important that we wear a mask to protect ourselves and others. First, I'm going to talk about why it is important to protect yourself with a mask. Then I will move on by letting you know how it can help us reduce the number of cases. And lastly, I will talk about how it can help us go back to a normal life. Let us begin by looking at the most important reason why it's important to wear a mask. COVID is spread by tiny droplets, respiratory droplets, from talking, coughing, and sneezing, etc. And say if I were in a store or something and somebody who came in there had COVID and wasn't wearing a mask, if they were talking, sneezing, coughing, any of that, those droplets are still in the air. So if I come in, even though I'm not by them, just because it's in the air, it's spread through transmission in the air, therefore I can pick it up. But with a mask, it acts as a barrier, so I won't inhale those respiratory droplets from another individual. These multi-layer fabric cloth masks act as barriers, preventing those around you from inhaling these droplets. Now that you know why it is important for you to wear a mask to protect yourself from others and others from you, I want to talk about how it can lower the number of cases. Dr. Jennifer Burgess states, if you wear a cloth mask, you can protect yourself, you can protect others from exposure to your droplets by 60 to 95%. That is a big number. And therefore, that shows you how important it is for you to wear a mask. That way you aren't exposing others. And so when we do take the precaution to wear a mask, that allows the numbers to slowly go down where people aren't being exposed, and people who do have it already are able to keep it controlled and not spread anymore. And also, with that being said, you do want to continue frequent hand washing, social distancing, but the mask is the most important thing. Lastly, I know we are all eager to return back to a normal life. I know I am. And wearing a mask can help us do so. Approximately 20.6 million Americans worldwide have lost their job due to COVID. Now it's not the same number, but it is very close to it as when the Great Depression hit. But nowadays we're lucky because we're able to get stimulus checks, and people are a little bit more supportive, helping and giving than in the Great Depression. So, but many people don't have their homes or anything or jobs, so it's still kind of hard. Even with the stimulus checks, not everybody is able to get them. It just helps give a little bit of assistance, basically. Now, resuming normal activity would allow students to go back to school, parents to go back to work in their offices. Now, I will say that there's probably been a new change of how society will move on. People will still probably take precautions and keep their distance from certain people, but jobs, some find it easier for virtual meetings. It's just a matter of getting it on hand and people are able to catch on with it. So it's a little bit easier for parents to work from home, and therefore it may also not be able for other people to work from home. So they need to return back to office. Okay. And we can also resume extracurricular activities. without having to social distance as much. People can go and watch football games. I know football is American entertainment, so that's a way to get back in entertainment. It also helps with creating more money, keeping the money flowing as well. All right, so let's wrap up the importance of wearing a mask. First, we learned about the transmission of COVID and how it is spread. And with that information I gave you, I told you why it is important for you to protect yourself and others with wearing a mask. Just a basic cloth mask like this, the multi-layer face mask. Next, I talked about how it will help lower the number of cases. And lastly, I ended with how it can help us resume back to normal activities, kids going back to school, parents back to work, just resume a normal life. At the beginning of my speech, I mentioned approximately 1 in 5 people are at risk of severe COVID. With the information I gave you, will you now wear a mask and inform others to do the same?